The aftermarket accessory market is a $34 billion industry that has been growing at a rate of 8% annually since 2000, according to SEMA. Cars might just be four-wheeled metal machines, might just take you place to place, but to some people, cars are way more than just a car. A car can be a form of self-expression, an escape from the daily hassles. Cars aren't just a form of transportation, they become a part of us.
Well, I'm Paul, and I drive a 2000 Jeep Cherokee XJ. Huge portion of my time spent working on it, upgrading it, searching, different upgrades to do. Definitely a huge part of my life.
Cars can mean a sense of freedom, from that first drive after you get your license, to be able to go anywhere, to do anything at any time you want, just by a turn of a key. This video wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for cars, the passion that people have for cars, the ability to make friends because of cars.
Being on college campus every day, I have people constantly coming up to me asking about the Jeep, and starts conversations and friendships.
Hi, I'm Chris. This is my 1990 Nissan 300ZX that I put a motor out of a Toyota Supra in. Swap took me about 3-4 months or so. It's got a big Garrett 68mm turbocharger that came on diesel trucks. It's got the transmission out of a Nissan 350Z. A lot of custom work went into the swap. Custom radiator, motor mounts, transmission mounts, driveline. Everything I did myself. I do a lot of racing with this car, mainly drifting and drag racing. I'd like to get into some autocross or track racing, that kind of stuff.
Hi, my name is Anthony Holzer, and I drive a 2015 Subaru WRX. I see my car as something to both give my life enjoyment and to keep myself busy. I have a lot of friends in the car community ever since I started going to car meets and meeting up and meeting other people. So I just love to work on them, and honestly I like to work on other people's cars and help them out, learn more about it, so eventually I could do something big like a project.
My name is Harlan. I drive an 03 Nissan 350Z Touring. It's slammed. A couple of things done to it. It's got coilovers, some Barstow wheels, a intake manifold, meeting people and going to shows is one of the greatest parts about being in the car community, because it's just a huge community. So you don't talk to everyone all the time. I've got friends that I see at Lebanon Valley Drift. talk to will go to Viaport in Rotterdam, and I'll see people that I haven't seen in a while. So it's just cool to catch up and see what they're doing to their cars, and you can show them what you're doing to yours. And people who aren't in the community are like, oh, what's everyone doing standing in the parking lot? But like, I'd much rather be sitting in a parking lot with a bunch of friends and some sweet cars than out getting drunk so I can have a hangover the next day. And that's always how I felt, and it's probably how I'll always feel.
Well, I had a 2002 Jeep that I wanted to put a little lift in, and so I did that, and it kind of snowballed from there. After making that one aspect of the vehicle better, it's like I started, finding more and more to do.
Well, I've always been like a gearhead type person, but it wasn't until I was about 13 or 14 or so that my dad got a 1993 Toyota MR2, and that was really the first sports car that I experienced, and that's what got me started on this. This was actually my first car, and I've had it for about 5 years now, and it was my daily driver for the first couple of years, and then it wasn't until last winter when I started doing the swap and really putting a lot of time and effort into it.
It all started a little over a year ago when my buddy, one of my best friends, Tom Dame, he was going into the Air Force, and all before that I went to high school with him, and he's always been into cars, specifically like Audis and German imports. And every once in a while I'd be able to go up to his place and work on his car along with our buddy Andrew Crossan, who had a Nissan 240 SX piled away in his garage. Ever since then I liked working on them, so I got into them after doing a bit of research.
I think growing up, Fast and Furious and like Matchbox cars had a big part of it. As you get older and get your license, it kind of develops into a hobby. It's definitely not something you wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I'm gonna be a car guy. Me and my friends may fight, but at the end of the night, we all have something in common, and that's that we love cars. I don't talk to any of my friends from high school. Any friends I've made in college have been car lovers. Really, every single one of my friends is into cars. And I've met them all within 2 years, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I definitely would consider it an obsession. There's not really too many hours out of the day I'm not thinking of what I could do next or what I want to do. So, whenever I'm in it or seeing it, I'm constantly thinking of how to make it better.
That depends on who you ask. My girlfriend, although supports me because she helped me buy this, she supports me and helped me buy it, but whenever I'm with my friends, all we talk about is cars. And if you're not into cars like her, or not like, if you're not very, very knowledgeable about cars like her, then our conversations can be really, really boring. It's kind of like someone speaking a foreign language because you don't know what they're talking about. I wouldn't go as far to say as it's an obsession, but it's definitely a hobby that you can get very involved with. I'll say that.
Probably not. It's kind of a stress reliever, a form of, I guess, entertainment, and something I enjoy doing. So I don't see it stopping anytime in the near future, at least.
Building cars is by no means cheap. All the parts, you gotta stay with quality parts or the build's just not gonna work out. So it's gonna end up taking a lot of money and a lot of time to do it. And with other hobbies that I would get into, there's only so much you can learn about it, and eventually it could get old depending on what it is. And with building cars and constantly talking to people, I can't see it ever ending, really. I just see project after project, there's always more to learn with it, especially as everything is advancing. So there's no way I could see myself ever stopping this. It's too much fun.
Maybe not. It's not something I woke up one day and said, I'm gonna be a car guy today. It just kind of gradually progressed as I grew older. And maybe as I grow older, I will grow out of it, but I don't see that happening.
Being a car enthusiast doesn't mean you know how to work on your car. Doesn't mean you know how to rip an engine apart. It means you love cars and you want to be around people who love them just as much as you do. Everybody's story is different on how they got into cars. Whether you played video games as a kid or you still play those video games. Maybe you went to a car event, fell in love with cars. However you get into cars is going to lead to new friendships, new adventures, and memories that'll last your lifetime.